Is getting out of bed difficult? Are you suffering from uncontrollable crying episodes? Is your libido, sleeping, or eating habits all topsy-turvy? If any of the above is a yes, then this is going to be the most important page you will ever read. Hi, I'm Catherine Smith, and I'm about to share with you a secret holistic system which will give you full control over your depression, effectively eliminating postpartum depression and literally getting your life back, and how it will happen without popping pills, psychiatric treatments, rip-off miracle or bogus cures. But I must warn you, everything you're about to learn will contradict everything you've heard or seen before. And while you follow this short yet controversial presentation, which because of its sensitive nature may not be online for long, you'll see why it will work for you. No matter what age, gender, or ethnicity, no matter what your family history indicates, no matter which treatments you've undergone, no matter how many times you've suffered from postpartum depression. Because you're moments away from discovering a proven holistic method I created that allows anyone, regardless of the sadness they feel, despite their lack of pleasure, whatever fatigue they're encountering, how much of inappropriate guilt they're going through, to turn their depressed life into a brand new one, filled with joy and happiness in 5 simple steps. But let's back up a little, because I know you may be a little skeptical, which is fair enough. So I urge you to stick with me while I explain my true story of how I successfully overcame PPD in 3 months after suffering from it for 2 long years. Well, let me start off by telling you what I'm not. I'm not a self-confessed genius, a rogue pharmaceutical insider, or a renowned medical doctor. As a matter of fact, I'm quite the opposite. I'm your everyday, run-of-the-mill, normal woman. And just like you, I was pregnant and gave birth to a wonderful, beautiful baby girl. But things started going horribly wrong. Out of the blue, it hit me like lightning. And slowly but surely, I displayed all the signs. Constantly curled up in bed, always tired and exhausted, wanting to be left alone, refusing to eat, unable to sleep, and worst of all, I felt like a useless mother. And when I didn't show any signs that I would be getting better, my husband took me to see the doctor. And he had heartbreaking news. I was suffering from postpartum depression. And just when I thought it couldn't get any worse, he told me there isn't a cure for it yet. I got more depressed upon hearing that, but I tried everything to help me get better. Prescribed drugs, popping pills, painkillers, muscle relaxants. Nothing worked. Even psychotherapy counseling also didn't work on me. And out of desperation, I dug into my savings and blew it on magical cures. Everything under the sun, including self-acupuncture, hypnosis, overnight cures, magic rubs. And guess what happened? Well, obviously, none worked. Simply because those cures will never work in real-life scenarios like ours. They're a waste of money and time, and frankly, I think some of what's in those books is downright dangerous as well. You don't want to be any part of that. I need to confess, I tried every possible alternative solution. Most failed. A handful worked, but only for a short period of time. But it always resulted in more tears, frustration, and self-doubt. However, I refused to give up. At the suggestion of a friend, I decided to design a depression-removing diet. Using my knowledge as a nutrition specialist, I experimented with different types of vitamins and minerals. And I actually started feeling better. And one day, my husband jokingly said, "Honey, you've gone through every possible cure known to man. Maybe if you piece all of the things which worked for you together, it might actually be a permanent cure." I sat up, gave it some thought, slowly gathered my scribbled notes, documenting my journey fighting PPD. It was more than 1,700 pages long, and slowly tried to put together a program which would work for me. It took me months of trial and error to see which techniques worked, which complemented each other, and which just didn't work. What I learned helped me piece the entire jigsaw together and allowed me to construct a coherent and usable program to combat postpartum depression. And after trying it on myself, in the following weeks after that, I managed to get better. And finally, after 3 months, I was eventually freed from PPD. I understood the emotional roller coaster I was on. Some days I was happy, some days I was just down in the dumps. And I remembered all the treatments I went through, how unnecessary they were, how it all just didn't work for me. Deep down, I believed that there must have been another option, a healthier alternative which would actually work for all the postpartum depression sufferers out there. So when I had fully recovered, I researched further in depth to improve on the program which helped me, to create a program to effectively combat it, to prevent it from happening to new mothers, and to cure those already suffering from it. It took me years researching and understanding the modern methods, but yet also exploring the potential of holistic and natural cures. I finally came to the realization that there were 3 groups of cures and why each of them were not effective in their own way. Here's disturbing fact number 1. Positive thinking without positive results. Many self-proclaimed depression gurus tell you it's all in your head. Their surefire methods include steps such as be positive, channel your energy, focus, etc. Ask yourself this honestly. Do you really think it's that easy? And just by doing that, you'll be cured? Unfortunately, plenty of sufferers have found out the hard way positive thinking is just a fad cure, which sounds borderline nutty and only erodes away at their self-confidence, leaving them worse off when it proves to be unreliable. Here's disturbing fact number 2. The magical online cures. Many unscrupulous people pry on the desperation of others, and in their moment of need, they would believe just about anything, regardless of how absurd and crazy it sounds. I know. I've been there. Magical overnight cures, self-hypnosis, magic rubs, they don't work. Remember the age-old saying, if it's too good to be true, it probably is? This is exactly what these are too. And here's disturbing fact number 3. The pharmaceutical and medical cartel. There is no doubt that there have been cases of drugs and psychotherapy, or a combination of both, used to help sufferers to fight postpartum depression. However, the cost of it all can range up to thousands of dollars, which can cause a huge amount of stress and disappointment for those who are unable to afford it. Also, there have been many cases of over-medication, whereby sufferers were made to take too much pills, causing serious side effects later on. In short, some are more intent on putting more dollars into their pockets, while not giving 2 hoots about how you're going to fare later on. And last but not least, many studies also show that medications only attend to the symptoms shown and doesn't address the source of the problem, thus making the likelihood of a relapse very high. Again, this boils down to the cartel and how much money they intend to squeeze out of sufferers like us. Well, taking all that into consideration, I studied all the research there was out there, incorporated my expertise in nutrition and medical background, and after 4 long years of intensive research and successful experimentation, I decided to note down and compile everything in case someone close to me ever needed it. But before I could try it on anyone, I became pregnant again. So when my second child was born, this time I insisted on using my program on myself. At first, my husband was skeptical, but he finally gave in and agreed to work with me to try it out, knowing that there was nothing to lose. After all, it was easy to apply and completely natural while being 100% risk-free. I followed my program using simple holistic techniques, and thankfully, I did not suffer from any depression whatsoever. I was so excited that my program actually works, I decided to share my knowledge with my close friends and family. As postpartum depression is hereditary, my sisters and cousins who subsequently became pregnant started using my program. Amazingly, all of them who used my program got the same results. They were so thrilled with the results that they started telling their friends about it, and word spread like wildfire. Before I knew it, I had people sending me emails asking for advice on combating postpartum depression. People from near and far, most of them complete strangers. I was so thrilled that I could help out, so I offered them my services in the hope of helping them overcome their condition. And after a year, the results were shocking, because the success rate was over 97%. In a year, 342 women had used my program and successfully overcame and avoided postpartum depression completely. And what's more surprising was that it worked on women from all walks of life, regardless of ethnicity and age. With the resounding success of my program, I decided it was time to create a guide compiling all my experience and knowledge about postpartum depression. I documented every secret technique because I knew that every mother can benefit greatly from using them to overcome it. Just ask Jenna, who said, "It started out with me waking up and feeling too tired to do anything. And a few weeks later, I just refused to get out of bed and turned my back on everyone." Because we were financially tight, we decided to look online for remedies and came across your program. Well, did it work? Fast forward 2 weeks, I felt totally reborn with a new zest for life. I'm delighted to introduce the PPD Miracle, the single permanent solution which promises to free you from postpartum depression. But here's a shocking fact. Up to 25% of women suffer from one form of postpartum depression or another, which means up to 1.3 million women every year gets affected by it. You can avoid all the heartache. You can eliminate all the self-doubt and loathing. There will be a light at the end of the tunnel, but only with the PPD Miracle Program. I know what you're thinking. Okay, Catherine, I get it, but this all sounds expensive. I can certainly see how you think that. After all, this is the plan you've been waiting for what seems like an eternity. And it's so much more than just a guide. It's a guided tour into taking your life to a whole delightful new level. No tricks, no schemes, no regrets. Just a real system that once utilized allows, even compels you to turn your life around, to be happy, and to remain that way. You will regain your energy, restore your self-confidence, and rediscover your passion for life. Improve your relationship with your baby and partner as the barrier of depression is removed. Regain the opportunity to do the things in life you've been afraid to do because of depression. Be free from drugs and their lousy side effects. Feel the love again instead of cold indifference. How to ensure depression and all its symptoms will never return. How much could that cost? Well, a lot of those benefits cannot be put into simple dollars and cents. And I understand it's impossible to put a price on well-being, mental health, and happiness. Yet, the PPD Miracle is so affordable, it's a no-brainer. I've made it so affordable because I don't want this to be an additional burden to you. I'll tell you exactly how much in just a second. But first, let's talk about what it's going to cost, because I know what you're going through, and I know how much it worries you that. Yes, therapy sessions will cost you thousands of dollars. And yes, pills and meds can cost a few $100s a month. And let's not take into account the frustrations and time wasted when it all doesn't work for you and you're back at square one. I know. I've been in your shoes. You already know how valuable a life free from depression is. You've been there before, and I can show you the way back. So you know how valuable PPD Miracle is. You know what it can do for you and your family. So, your one-time entry fee to join me and thousands of others like me as a PPD Miracle Insider is just $57. But when you take action today, you'll get everything for a whopping 53% discount at just $27. But hold on, the deal's about to get even better. So good, in fact, I can't believe it myself. Because I'll even go one better. Act now, and only through this video, you'll get the entire PPD Miracle Ultimate Edition course with 3 amazing bonuses for one single payment of just $27. And even though the price is this crazy low, I understand that you need to know deep down that your investment is safe. Therefore, in order to further put your mind at ease, I've worked with ClickBank, one of the world's largest internet companies, to bring you PPD Miracle to your doorstep at the click of the mouse or to top it off. Your purchase is fully backed by my unprecedented, risk-free 2-month, 60-day guarantee. If you don't find this course to be the best course of its kind to cure postpartum depression, then simply ask for a refund anytime in the first 2 months, and it's yours. And let me be super clear about this. You could instantly download the package right now. Use every last technique and tip. Get your happiness back, regain your energy and zest for life, watch your relationships improve, get your life back on track. You could find the system to be unbelievably effective, and still, you could ask for a refund for no reason at all in the first 60 days. And you'll get it with a virtual hug and a smile. I can make a promise that bold because I know you'll be elated when you sign up for my PPD Miracle program. The only program of its kind that doesn't rely on the absurd and impossible. You know what I'm talking about. Those which promise you'll wake up overnight and feel brand new. Those which promise sticking a few needles here and there and you're good to go. Those which promise will show results in 2 short days. Those which make you look in the mirror one fine day, swollen-eyed, shattered, and say, what on earth was I thinking? You'll never be stuck in that position, because PPD Miracle works anytime for anyone, regardless of age, regardless of ethnicity, regardless of family history, regardless of the number of times you've suffered from postpartum depression. Yes, absolutely anyone. But in order for it to work for you, there's one thing you must do. You must sign up right now by choosing a package below. Don't miss the limited time offer I'm running right now. I'm offering this crazy low price for a very limited time. I'll tell you why. PPD Miracle is new on the market, and frankly, there is nothing else out there like it. Every other program I've seen involves scary therapies, which cost a bomb, unsafe pills, or unproven mumbo-jumbo techniques. Not only do I find those methods to be dangerous, unrealistic, some even borderline illegal, but they aren't even as effective as the PPD Miracle. Why am I offering my PPD Miracle at such a low introductory price? Well, I want my program to be seen worldwide for what it is, the ultimate holistic healing system for postpartum depression anywhere. To help spread that word, I want to fill this page up with tons of testimonials with success stories. In order to do that, I need to get PPD Miracle into as many hands as possible. Maybe that'll make a big statement. It may never happen, but I need to know I tried to help, tried to make it right, attempted to do my part. So, if you come back to this video and the ultimate edition of PPD Miracle is back up to $57, you'll know the special is gone forever. At this moment, it's like you're staring at 2 roads ahead. One road leads you back to the life you're living right now. The life you loathe, constantly anxious, sad, and overwhelmed, basically just being stuck in a bleak and lonely situation that you can't seem to snap out of. Then there's that other road, the one that helps you renew your health, your mind, your relationships, and create the quality of life you deserve. You'll love the way you look and feel, allowing you to lead a stress and worry-free life, sharing wonderful moments with your new baby and partner, experiencing the wonders of motherhood as it should be. Which way you turn truly will affect the rest of your life. So, what's it going to be? The bumpy, pothole-filled road to the same old, or the newly paved road to your brand new life? Remember, PPD Miracle will work for anyone, anywhere, anytime. And it'll give you back the life you've always wanted. This isn't just a promise. It's guaranteed in writing. So go ahead, sign up right now. Let's beat this together.